This is my journey towards the rice fields. Step by step, I walk along a narrow path on the edge of the vast expanse of rice fields. Like a green carpet that never ends, the wind whispers softly, caressing my hair and face, carrying the scent of wet soil and the whispers of nature that are so familiar to my heart. I'm not just walking, I'm on a small mission. A simple hunt, but meaningful. Yes, I'm going to hunt snails. For some people, it might be a trivial matter, just a small slimy animal. But for me, behind the shell of the snail, there is a hunger that I must quench. There are childhood memories, when my father and I used to walk through the rice fields together. Now I am alone, continuing that trail, in silence, in prayer, in hope, that I entrust to every step I take. The rice fields are waiting for me. The snails became silent witnesses to the small journey of a human being, who not only seeks, but also remembers, and rediscovers, the meaning of coming home. This is my journey to the rice fields. Arriving at the rice fields, I immediately stepped into the middle of the vast expanse of green. A place they call the rice field disaster. The wind blew softly, carrying the scent of mud and wet grass. A scent that was strangely familiar. So disturbing, as if it held old stories that didn't want to be revealed. My steps were slow, but sure. I walked through every corner, every plot. And there they were, so many. The snails. Not just small, helpless animals. No, they were like a silent army that sneaked around, gnawing. They could destroy the rice plants, slowly but surely. But for me, snails were a treasure, like the black pearls I was looking for. The sun greeted me warmly. Its dim light refracted on the surface of the water, and the shadows of my body writhed along with the whispers of the soil. I stopped, staring at a snail climbing a rice stalk. Slow, slippery, silent, but scary. I realized, this was not just about pests. Not just a threat to the harvest. This was about resistance, about who survives, and who must lose in the thrilling silence. And in the midst of that silence, I stepped again, deeper, into the heart of the rice field disaster, where it all began, and maybe, will end. I enjoyed the atmosphere and snail hunting activities this time, because the rice fields offered a tranquility that I couldn't find anywhere else. The expanse of green stretched out before me, as if gently welcoming my steps. The blue sky stretched above, decorated with thin clouds that moved slowly, while small birds flew low, greeting me with their melodious chirps. The air here, cool, clean, and refreshing to the point of going deep into my chest, making me forget that I was hunting a small creature known as a destroyer. Every step I took part in the calm water, leaving small footprints in the mud, and I became more and more immersed in this atmosphere, as if there was no other world besides this rice field, me, and the silence that enveloped it. My hands are busy pushing aside the rice plants. My eyes are alert looking for snail shells that glisten in the sunlight. But my heart is calm, as if every second here is therapy, washing away tiredness, and calming the noise that often settles in my head. I don't want to leave immediately. I want to stay here, at one with nature, absorbing its peace, and letting myself drift away in this simple beauty. Rice fields, wind, and the sound of nature speaking silently. The water in this rice field is so clear that the muddy bottom is clearly visible. The sunlight that penetrates the surface of the water reflects softly, forming a sparkle like slowly cracking glass. Because of this clarity, the snails hidden among the rice stalks look striking, clean, shiny, as if they had just been washed by nature. I love this. There is a certain satisfaction in seeing the snails in their most natural form. The shells are black, with thin brown patterns that circle beautifully like a timeline that records their life journey at the bottom of the rice field. Each shell, each curve, has a story, about the first rain, about the scorching sun, and about the patient flow of water through the small ditches. However, not all of them are black. Amidst the crowd, Sometimes something different appears. One or two snails with striking colors. Golden yellow, even slightly orange resembling the color of dusk. People here call it golden snail. Yes, golden snail. The golden snail attracts attention with a different aura. It seems to be present not only as a pest, but as a sign that behind all the destruction it may cause, nature still creates beauty in unexpected forms. I pick one up, examine it slowly in the palm of my hand. Its shell feels warm in the sunlight, and for a moment I am silent, stunned, fascinated, because I know this is not just a snail hunt. This is a meeting between humans and nature, between the visible and the hidden, between destruction and beauty side by side in one place, in the middle of this quiet rice field. Apparently I've been here for quite some time. Time passed silently, without any definite signs, until finally I realized sweat had soaked my entire body. The clothes I was wearing were now stuck to my skin. Sweat flowed slowly down my temples, blending with the fine dust that stuck to my face. But strangely enough, I didn't feel tired. I didn't want to stop either. On the contrary, I actually enjoyed this hunt even more. Every step that walked through the rice fields, every movement of my hand that uncovered the rice stalks, everything felt so natural, a feeling that exists when I am one with nature. Here, in this place, I feel alive, not just breathing, but living in the true sense. Living with nature, with a rhythm that flows slowly, without the noise of the city. And for a moment it was unforgettable. I lived freely without limits with nature. The birds were still singing in the distance. Occasionally the gurgling of water from the irrigation channel that flowed quietly could be heard. The rice leaves swayed gently in the afternoon wind, making soft sounds like the secret whispers of the earth. And I, in the midst of all that, was just a little traveler, celebrating the presence of nature. In silence, in sweat, in a simple but priceless peace. The day began to lean to the west. The light slowly turned yellow. But my heart still wanted to be here. Still wanted to step on the mud, greet the little snails, and let myself continue to dissolve in the beauty of this almost forgotten world. And now, it's time for me to leave this place. The sky is starting to darken. The orange color blends slowly with the dark blue on the western horizon. The afternoon wind brings a cool air that touches my skin, as if wanting to hold my steps, as if saying, "Don't rush to leave." But I know, time cannot be embraced forever. I look once again at the expanse of rice fields that are starting to be covered in shadow. The place where today I found more than just snails. With slow steps, I carry the bucket containing the results of the hunt, full of snails to be taken home. But more than that, I bring home something invisible. A piece of calm, a piece of gratitude, and a little bit of closeness to nature that cannot be bought anywhere. In my chest, there is still the echo of the wind, the whisper of leaves, and the shadow of clear water that holds the reflection of the sky. I walk away, but my heart is still there, among the mud and rice, in the midst of a simple, but healing silence, because sometimes, what we need most is not a new place, but to reunite with what is oldest, nature. And today, I have done it. With sweat, with a smile, and with a peace that quietly settles in my heart, and in my duck house, already waiting his favorite meal, the snails that I brought.